if I wanted to verify, I can go to command prompt and type in ipconfig to see a summary. Config ip. See a summary of my interfaces and their configuration. Oh, look at that. Now Fast Ethernet 0 has 192.168.1.4 and a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. We're not touching Bluetooth, not doing anything with Bluetooth, so that's all zeros. But it does show us that interface as well. If I went to, let's say, PC3, I'm sorry, that was PC3. If I went to PC1, PC1 is over here, I'll go to command prompt, and you can pick whichever PC you prefer. Just go and type ipconfig, and you'll see the summary. If you wanted to see the full details, you say ipconfig/all. And now we get the full details. We get the physical address, the MAC address, the IP address, the subnet mask, which identifies that this section here is the network, the 192.168.1.0, the first 24 bits, because each section is 8 bits long. We will, if you're not familiar with subnetting, I would encourage you to spend some time on it. I will include a video on subnetting in the description if you want to take a look at it. Alright, so all the PCs have IP addresses, but if I go back, and if I go back to the switch, I go to click on the laptop 0, I just left clicked on it, go and left click on terminal, left click on OK, and I run that command again, show MAC address dash table. Oh, look at that. Wait a minute. We have MAC addresses and we have ports. Now, really? Is this accurate? The switch just learned this stuff just like that? Yes. Some communication has happened, and I am willing to bet that maybe some address resolution protocol happened. Now, what is this address resolution protocol? We will touch on that soon. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about these MAC addresses. Let's verify them. So 01, this 01 here, it ends in E8, A as in alpha 5. I'm going to go check. I want to be sure. I will go to left click on the icon, go to command prompt, and oh look, I already have this here. I already ran this command, and there it is, E8A5. Let me go back to the laptop. E8A5. The beginning was 0060 port 1. Let's go back and look. 0060. Okay. Wow. So the switch is actually keeping track of all this, but how does it use it? How does it work? How does it so it knows? So what if it knows? Okay, so PC0 wants to talk to PC3. Okay, I will go into simulation mode in a moment. So I go to PC0 and I go to command prompt and I want to send a ping across. Ping is sending a message. It's like calling and someone else's phone number, dialing their number. Okay, so first you type the command ping. Well, before we type ping, let's check. This is where we use ARP. So address resolution protocol. What it does is if this PC, so the PC also has a table. In fact, all these devices that are connected have their own special record system, or as we call it, the ARP table. And you can see that by typing ARP-A, ARP space dash A. Okay, so right now it says no ARP entries. So this PC, what it does is it will keep track of IP addresses and match them to MAC addresses. So in the event that it wants to send a ping to, let's say this PC0 wants to talk to PC1, this PC1's MAC address is XYZ, ABC, whatever it may be. It will have 192.168.1.2 and it's on this ARP table, and next to it will be ABC, XYZ, whatever its MAC address is. So when it sends that message, it will say, hey, I want to communicate with a PC that has the MAC address of XYZ, ABC, whatever it may be, to the switch, and the switch will say, let me check my MAC address table. And then once it finds out where that is, it will send it over here. Now, if a PC has never communicated and has no ARP entries, no record of these devices, it will send a broadcast. Now, what is a broadcast? A broadcast is when the PC sends a message to all, it asks a question, who has? So the PC will send a message that says, who has the IP 192.168.1.2? Please respond back to me. So it will go to the switch, and the switch will say, okay, I need to send it to every connected device except where this came from, the fast Ethernet 01. It will go to fast Ethernet 02, 03, 04, except 01. And then if this PC has it, it will respond back and say, I have 192.168.1.2, and here is my MAC address. It goes back here, and then it goes back to the PC. Now, is there a way we can see that in action? Positively. I will go down to simulation mode. Very handy dandy tool in Packet Tracer that allows us to actually get a visual of what is happening on the network. Now, a broadcast is like getting on a megaphone and trying to find out someone specific in a crowd. Get on your megaphone and say, Johnny, are you there? And then everyone hears it. Those who are not Johnny will not respond. When Johnny hears your voice and Johnny knows your voice and Johnny knows you, Johnny will respond and say, I'm right here. Maybe Johnny will stick his hand in the crowd, above the crowd, and wave at you and whatnot. So, okay, simulation. I go to simulation mode. We're in real-time mode where we don't see electricity going over the wire. But in simulation mode, we can see details that are going through the wire, through the copper cables. So I clicked on show all/none. Right now it's showing none. And what I want to see is ARP, address resolution protocol, so I check that box, and ICMP, which is our ping packet. So I close this now, and now you'll see ARP and ICMP down bottom. I go to PC0, and on PC0 right now has no ARP entries, 0. And I'm going to ping. Remember, ping is like picking up your phone and calling the other person. So I will ping 192.168.1.2, which is the IP address of PC1. 192.168.1.2. Now remember, 1.2. The switch does not care about IP addresses. It only cares about MAC addresses. Hence, the MAC address table does not care about IP addresses at all. But this PC does. So let's find out. So I hit enter, and there we have this magical envelope. This is what's happening on the network. So I minimize that screen, and I'm going to go here and say I want to start. I will hit play. So it's PC is trying to talk to this, but it doesn't know it. It doesn't know it. So a broadcast gets sent. Here's the megaphone. Boom! I want Johnny. Are you there? I'm not Johnny. I'm not Johnny. Oh, this is Johnny. And Johnny responds. The switch knows now the port of Johnny and the port of whoever was using the megaphone. Now that they know each other and where each other are, they're going to use the cell phone and talk privately. So ARP happened, the broadcast happened, and now this is called unicast, when one-to-one communications happen. The switch knows communications coming from here, the FA01. But why is one-to-one communication happening? That's because the PC has now learned the MAC address of this IP address, and it does not need to send a broadcast anymore to find it. So if I were to pause this for a moment, I scroll over to the right, all the way over to the right, you see the first thing that happened was ARP. This happened. I left click on it, say okay. So here's the OSI model. At layer 1 was communication over fast Ethernet 01 from the PC. The PC wants to know 192, it wants to ping 192.168.1.2. Okay, from 192.168.1.1. Now, what happens next? Oh, click on this, go inbound. Okay, so we see some information. If you go to inbound PDU, packet data unit, you see how the information is presented to the switch and how it sees it. So that's the target. And then, oh, sorry, let me scroll up a little so we can see where it started. So first we wanted to send an ICMP packet, but we want ICMP is the ping, but we didn't know who to send it to and their MAC address because the switch will only send MAC address information. So we sent an ARP, a broadcast. Now, if you look here, it's all Fs. Even though the source IP address is 192.168.1.1, this PC, destination is 1.2. These all Fs basically is this PC saying, I don't know the MAC address of this PC that has 192.168.1.2. Once I know, I won't send this anymore, but right now I need to send this address resolution protocol to resolve this issue that I have of not knowing the MAC address of this device. So once it knows, then it will send ICMP, it will send ping. But if it doesn't know, it'll send all these Fs, which is the last usable IP address in the network, the broadcast IP address. That is what it's used for, address resolution protocol. You will learn that in subnetting, I promise. But for now, let's go back to the PC. We will talk more about that PC in the next episode.